In the study of human behavior, people are familiar with emotional quotient, but there is also another important quotient that seriously needs a spotlight these days, and that is adversity quotient. Adversity quotient is the wear and tear factor, and it is also the ability to handle adversities as well. To all the participants of this webinar for research publication, I'm Dr. Maricar A. Sison, a faculty member of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, and I'm here to present to you our research entitled Adversity Quotient of NEUST-SIC Co-Ed Faculty. This research study was presented during the NUST in-house review for completed research and ongoing researches on December 4, 2019, and it was published in International Journal of English Literature and Social Sciences last December of 2020. Stolz in 1997 said that adversity quotient is the most widely used way of measuring and strengthening human resilience. As many people from all walks of life encounter adversity, the way they face challenges determines their success and relationship with others. Adversity quotient is made up of 4 dimensions. First is control. Control is the extent to which someone perceives they can influence whatever happens next. It determines resilience, health, and tenacity. Second is ownership. The likelihood that someone will actually do anything to improve the situation, regardless of their formal responsibilities. It determines accountability, responsibility, action, and engagement. Third is reached. The extent to which someone perceives an adversity will reach into and affect other aspects of the situation or beyond. It determines burden, stress, energy, and effort. It tends to have a cumulative effect. And last is endurance. The length of time the individual perceives a situation or adversity will last or endure. It determines hope, optimism, and willingness to persevere. In the study by Titus Nang in 2013, he emphasized that control focuses on dealing with the adversities instead of focusing and complaining about the issues beyond control. It can maintain a can-do attitude even when the challenges are overwhelming and seek support from others when handling problems or challenges beyond control. There are individuals who respond to adversities as temporary, have optimistic views. As a result, they tend to enjoy life's benefits. Origin and ownership deals with taking responsibility for any mistakes made, taking ownership in resolving problems. Even if they did not cause them, they clearly and objectively evaluated who caused the problems. According to Stolz in 1997, as cited by Santos in 2012, the domain origin and ownership asks 2 questions. Who or what was the origin of adversity? And to what degree do I own the outcomes of the adversity? If the origin's level is low, there is a possibility of blaming oneself for the adversities he or she is facing, whereas an individual with high AQ levels in this domain tends to consider other factors as sources of adversities. In short, origin and ownership speak about accountability. The third domain is reach, and this dimension asks the question, how far will the adversity reach into other areas of my life? As cited by Santos in 2012 and Stolz in 1997, a low level in this domain will be most likely that adversity may affect other areas of one's life and may probably make a big deal to the point of catastrophizing an unfortunate event. Lastly, endurance deals with being optimistic and may view success as enduring, if not permanent during adversity, is somewhat temporary, as cited by Santos in 2012. According to Nang T in 2013, Endurance is about exhibiting tenacity and perseverance, even when the situation is uncertain or cloudy, while at the same time remaining hopeful that the adversities will pass eventually. Further, in bleak situations, succumbing to adversities may turn disappointment into a cataclysmic event. On the other hand, a high level may indicate a Bucks-like attitude or protecting other life's areas from the current adversity one is facing. This study was conducted to determine the adversity quotient of the faculty of Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, San Isidro Campus College of Education. Specifically, it seeks to provide significant answers to the following objectives. First, to determine the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age, sex, civil status, educational attainment, years of service, academic rank, and monthly salary. Second, to identify the adversity quotient profile of the respondents in terms of control, ownership, reached, endurance, and overall adversity quotient. In determining the adversity quotient of the respondents, the descriptive method of research was applied. The descriptive method describes certain phenomena and provides an accurate description of a situation or an association between variables. One can then make statements about a particular group or population. The study respondents were the 16 faculty members from the College of Education, Nueva Ecija University of Science and Technology, San Isidro Campus. The researchers used a survey questionnaire as their instrument in gathering data. These were the Adversity Response Profile Quick Take and the Demographic Profile Questionnaire. Frequencies percentage was used to determine the respondents' profile, including their age, sex, civil status, educational attainment, years of service, academic rank, monthly salary, and adversity quotient. Qualitative analysis and descriptive statistics were utilized to describe and determine the teacher's adversity quotient. Mean scores were computed per core dimensions of AQ. To arrive at the teacher's AQ, the average or mean score per core dimensions was added together. Table 1 presents the demographic profile of the respondents in terms of age. Majority of the respondents belong to age bracket of 32 to 38 years old, while the list is below 24 years old and above 60 years old. So this implies that most of the respondents are still in their prime years of becoming a teacher. They also possess the energy of handling adversity in their respective professional domain. However, it is also believed that the more one gets older, the more that one becomes more mature and responsible for what one does. Table 2 shows the sex distribution of the respondents. It shows that out of 16 faculty members, 56.25% or 9 of the respondents were female. The study suggested that various genders have different levels of capacities on how to respond to adversity. When encountering adversity, females have the tendency to blame themselves, while males tend to focus and concentrate on the outcome of adversity, as cited by Chao-Ying Shen in 2014 and Stoltz in 2002. Table 3 presents the civil status record of the respondents. 7 or 43.75% are single, and 9 or 56.25% of the respondents are married. Having a partner to handle adversities may be beneficial, but being single, married, legally separated, or widow has nothing to do with the approach in overcoming adversity. In short, civil status is not related with any circumstances. reaching into other areas of life, as cited by Kumar in 2018. Table 5 reveals that 5 or 31.25% of the respondents have 1 to 5 years of teaching experience, tied with 6 to 10 years of teaching experience. It also shows that the majority of the respondents have 10 years and below teaching experience. Most of the faculty members of the College of Education in NEUST-SIC are relatively new to the profession. We may say that the longer a faculty member stays in the profession, the more adept he or she is taking care of adversities related to their job. Table 6 presents the academic rank of the respondents. The data reveals that 8 or 50% are instructors, while the remaining 50% are distributed to higher academic ranks such as assistant professor, associate professors, and professors. According to Bautista in 2015, faculty members who have higher academic ranks, such as assistant and associate professors, have become well-versed in strategies and ways to cope to various teaching complexities. Meaning to say, their ability to be promoted to a higher position reflects their behavior in responding to the challenges they have encountered before achieving such a position or rank. Bautista in 2015 also added that these people have put themselves in higher positions through hard work and perseverance. Table 7 revealed that in terms of control, majority of the respondents has an average level of adversity quotient with 43.75%. It indicates that most of the respondents may respond to adverse events at least partially within their control, depending on the event's magnitude. At this level, one can maintain an optimistic viewer perception of the situation even if the challenges seem too big to conquer. This study also implies that an individual with more grip on the case or more control, the more likely they are inclined to do actions that may bring positive results. Table 8 reveals that in terms of origin and ownership, the majority of the participants have a below average level of adversity is 50%. It can also be seen that no one registered an above average level of adversity, but 2 participants registered a high level of adversity quotient in terms of origin ownership. It could be said that the lower one's adversity quotient on this domain, the more one may view problems as his fault, even if they did not cause them, and fortunate circumstances as a product of good luck because of other forces, as cited by Nang T in 2013. The findings implies that most of the respondents may doubt themselves, which may eventually lead to withdrawal on significant hurdles, as cited by Bantang et al. In 2013. Regarding reach, the respondents have also average level of adversity quotient with 50%, while 18.75% respondents have a low level of adversity quotient. This finding reveals that most of them have a moderate capacity to give full attention and energy to other areas not affected by the adversities. Persons with an average level of adversity quotient to reach may respond to adversities as pointing to a particular situation that may not necessarily affect other areas of their life. Although the result is average, there is still a tendency for the respondents to catastrophize an event, thus making bad events more far-reaching when it is not that bad in reality. The table shows that 37.5% of the respondents have an average level of adversity in terms of endurance, and no one is registered below average level. This suggests that most participants have a moderate capacity to exhibit tenacity and perseverance. Even when the situation is uncertain, they remain hopeful that the adversities will eventually pass away, It can also be noted from the table that a quarter of the respondents registered above average and high in terms of endurance. This indicates that 50% of the NEUST-SIC College of Education faculty members may perceive adversity as temporary. Most importantly, as can be gleaned from Table 10, the participants' overall adversity quotient falls on the average range. This implies that most faculty members can control and deal with adverse situations they encounter in their lives. In responding to adversity, the respondents are considered optimists. They see adversity and problems as challenges, see problems as temporary, limited and external to themselves, do not internalize issues, and have a this too shall pass philosophy, as cited by Perert in 2009, Bautista et al. In 2012. In terms of the overall adversity quotient level, the faculty of the College of Education NEUST-SIC belongs to an average range. This finding implies that the faculty members possess a balanced outlook in life in perceiving adversities. The conclusions of the study are the following. First, majority of the respondents were married, female, master's degree holders, and have served the university as an instructor for 5 to 10 years. Second, in terms of control, reach, and endurance, the Faculty of Education of NUSC San Isidro Campus is within the average range. However, in terms of ownership, they are below average. And last, the Faculty of College of Education of NUST San Isidro Campus overall have an average adversity quotient level. For the recommendations of the study, it is recommended that the majority of the Faculty of Education pursue doctorate degrees to gain more skills in handling adversities. Second, an intervention program in the form of seminars and training is also recommended for faculty members to make them more resilient and competent university members. And last, future researchers may broaden the scope and apply this research to other members of the faculty of other colleges in NUST. That's all from now. Thank you for listening.